So this is our little Stubby, and she was born without 3 trotters.
What worries me is the fact that without those trotters, her life is going to be truly limited. It's something that I reckon is worth trying here. Rubber stoppers off the base of chairs.
That is pretty special.
It's not every day I'm out in this part of the country, but this is no ordinary case. A piglet born with only 1 trotter. She's clearly beaten the odds just to get to this point, so I'm going to see if I can help her out.
Chris is in Carrara, about 2.5 hours southwest of Brisbane. He's responding to a call for help from some big-hearted farmers. They're worried about Stubby, a very special baby.
How are you?
Hi, how are you?
It's Bella, right?
Yep.
G'day,
Nice
how
to
you
meet
going?
you, Chris.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Tim.
How are you,
Pleasure to
Tim?
meet you, mate.
Now, where's our patient?
She's inside still.
Oh, wow.
So this is our little Stubby, and she was born without 3 trotters.
Wow. Look at that face. She is
Just beautiful.
extraordinary. I pick up Stubby and realise that, you know, it's one thing to hear about a piglet born with only 1 trotter. It's another one to have it in your arms. And looking at her right now, she's got one hell of a struggle on her hands. Was she born like this?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first time we've ever had born like this. I don't even know if she would have got through the night because she didn't have the trotters to hold on to her teat and she would have just got pushed out of the way. So I held her up to her mum's nipple.
Wow. So you knew straight away she just couldn't survive?
She wouldn't have, no. Stubby, she's only been in our home for 3 weeks, but she's already a huge part of the family and a huge part of my heart.
What worries me is the fact that without those trotters, her life is going to be truly limited.
Yeah.
I want to be able to help you
Yeah.
and see if we can find some sort of solution here that's going to be a long-term fix for her.
Yeah, because I don't want her to be in pain or anything.
No.
I want her to have a good little life.
Yeah.
Our vet said to put Stubby down, so Chris is our last resort.
At the moment, she's truly up against it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I've seen animals with 1 leg deformed, but to have 3 like this,
Yeah.
it's a big issue. There's no doubt that Stubby is right up against it. I mean, normally addressing a problem in 1 or 2 legs, that's a big challenge. But with 3, she's facing an uphill battle. All right, I think the first thing I'd like to see is just how well she's getting around right now.
Sure.
That gives us a good starting point.
Yep.
And then from there we can work out exactly what we're facing and what we need to look at. And what I find interesting is when she does walk, she doesn't ever get her legs even close to being vertical.
She's got to think twice about where she puts her foot down.
And I think she's doing that because she knows that those legs of hers are very sensitive. They don't have the padding underneath. They don't have that hoof to support her. And each little twig and each, I guess, little pebble that she hits would actually hurt her. My concern is that if Stubby was born with these defects, then there's a chance she could have others. So a full check over, it's essential. The inside of her mouth looks okay, no cleft palate. Her neck, her ribs, they all feel fine. And when I listen around her heart, I'm hearing very clear beats, which is important. So really, so far so good.
That's good.
That's good.
But we need to get to these legs though. So you can see she's getting these little pressure sores here. So that's where she's contacting the ground when she takes those steps. And this one's a little bit more raw too.
Yeah.
So while she's managing to get around right now, you know, there are some warning signs that there's potentially some trouble brewing there.
Yep.
The issue we've got is without those trotters, her life is going to be truly limited. Because she just can't get around and carry around any sort of weight without them.
And she's going to grow.
Yeah.
The enormity of little Stubby's problem is beginning to sink in.
I'm just worried that, you know, we can't do anything to help her and that, you know, I can't provide her a life that, you know, she deserves.
So we need to find a way to help her support her growing weight.
I'm not
Do you
sure.
have any ideas?
Yeah,
I'm glad you
I do. As Stubby grows, her weight is going to become immense, and those stumps just structurally won't be able to support her. Plus, she only has a thin layer of skin covering them. So right now, the pressure is on to make sure this solution is one that works. All right, Belle, you may have the most important job of all here. You have to keep our little miss still. What I want to do first of all is clean up these feet here.
Good girl.
So what we're going to do is actually going to cover up these feet here so we can't afford for them to have any infections there that could get any worse. All right, so what we're going to do now is all about trying to give her some sort of durability and some sort of comfort with those feet.
Okay.
So if we don't protect them, those pressure sores are going to develop into big open wounds. And as she gets bigger, that's going to be catastrophic for her. Basically, I'm trying to mimic exactly what nature didn't provide Stubby with. So normally, she would have a layer of fat on the base of her foot and then the harder material over the top of the trotter that acts as protection. So instead of that, I've got the padding, which is going to provide the cushioning. Then on top of that, the bandage provides the protection. All right, we're ready for a fitting.
Righto.
Put her head up.
Let's sneak one on the back here.
Yeah, okay.
If we can. Like a glove.
Beautiful.
So now we'll tape this one on.
You're not being hurt. I think Chris's idea is awesome. I'm open to anything that lets Stubby just live a normal life.
Okay.
Moment of truth.
So, we now have 3 feet covered.
Yep.
So she's all bandaged up, but the big question is, can she walk? Basically, if she can't walk, then she just won't be able to survive. It's a big moment.
It is.
A lot of work gone into this.
Yep.
So let's see how these new feet go.
Come on, it's all right.
If this doesn't work, the tiny piglet has no future.
They feel a bit different, sweetie.
Yeah.
Chris puts Stubby on the ground and she just kind of stops for a second. Stubby, what are you doing? And then she starts taking steps and you can just see the look on her face like, oh my God, I'm not in any pain, and just the freedom she has to walk, and that just meant the world to me.
The thing about these is they're not necessarily all-terrain and all-weather. It's something that I reckon is worth trying here. Rubber stoppers off the base of chairs. These
What do you think, Stubbs?
could become an all-terrain form of transport. So I just wonder if we put her little foot in there.
Yep.
Look who has
A new trotter.
their own rubber boot.
That is pretty special.
The local hardware store isn't where I normally start looking for a solution to a piglet's problem. But funnily enough, these rubber stoppers look to be perfect. With her little gumboots on, I can't see why she can't get around the farm just like the other piglets. Oh, that's pretty good.
That is.
She's awesome, eh?
She's looking stoked. Look at her. That's seconds after she's had them on, so this will take hours, it'll take days for her to get used to walking in them, but she'll be running in them.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think, Stubbs?
Obviously in the future, as she does get bigger, she's going to need more help. She'll need bigger rubber shoes, but in Belle and Tim, she's got some very handy allies.
Thank you very much.
No worries at all.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Before Chris came, we didn't know what the future would be for Stubby, but after he's seen her and spent so much time with her, it seems like her future's going to be really bright. Are you climb, sweetie?
Scott's wife Zoe and daughter Quinn are on a special mission to collect the next patient.
Good job.
Let's go see the chicken!
Yeah, you can show me where they are, honey. So Scott gets a phone call from Quinn's school yesterday, and it turns out one of their chickens isn't too well. So I'm here to essentially be a sort of veterinary assistant and come and pick up the patient.
Hi, Mrs. Parr.
Hello.
Quinn, how are you?
Good.
Hi, Zoe.
Hi, Mrs.
Thank
Parr.
you
How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you
Good.
so much for coming. We've been
no
really
problem.
worried about one of our chickens, as you know. Poor Jane, she's been losing a bit of weight and she's not eating properly. And we noticed that her wattle was getting filled up and not emptying by the next day. So that's why we phoned Scott. We were just hoping that we can make her better and sort out whatever's going wrong with her wattle. Sorry, Jane. Here she is.
Well done, caught in
Here's
one.
Jane.
Hello, darling. Hello. Oh, my goodness, yes, you are a little inflated, to say the least.
I think she is. So it must be terribly uncomfortable for her.
When did you notice that?
A couple of weeks ago, so we've tried giving her some oil to try and dislodge the food that's stuck there, but
Right.
it doesn't seem to have worked. So
dear.
that's why we've phoned Scott to hope that he can help us
Worry.
out.
Chicken man to the rescue. I'm
Yes.
sure I'll be able to help her. Being the chicken expert that I am, having, you know, been in the vicinity of the 4 we have at home, I'd say definitely a crop problem, full of stuff that it shouldn't be in there, and we need to get it out. There we are. That's my take on it.
Should we take the chicken to Daddy then?
Yes.
Do you think Daddy's going to be able to sort Jane out and make her better?
My dad can sort any animal out.
Oh, he's got a super daddy, haven't you?
I'll get the box.
Oh, good
Thank
idea,
you, Quinn.
Wow, you guys are very organised.
Good
Well
girl.
done.
The
Right.
chicken goes in here, then the blanket goes over her.
Okay.
Thank you, Quinn.
There we go.
Do you put the blanket over there then?
Whoa!
I'll
Jane,
hold on to it. Put the blanket.
I'll do it. I'll help you, sweetheart, if you want. There we go.
There you go.
See a little head popping out.
Let's check.
Yes, make her safe.
There we go. She's in. Great. The chicken rescuers. Let's go, Quinn.
Quinn, chicken rescuer.
Oh, well done.
This is a heavy chicken.
She's a heavy chicken. She's got a lot of extra weight with her.
Yes, she
I'll
has.
speak to you later on.
Okay,
Thanks so much.
bye.
Coming in, Quinn. This way, honey.
Quinn is now going off to class, and Zoe will be heading in to see Scott.
It's all been quite easy, really. I drop one child off and pick up a chicken. Standard day, really.
La la, la la, la la, la la, la la. No one needs a sick chicken.
At the Isleworth practice, Zoe is arriving with the school chicken, and Scott and vet nurse Reagan are waiting.
Hello.
Hello, honey.
Hiya. I got a chicken in a box for you. Do you want to see it?
Yeah. Hello. Oh, hello, gorgeous.
Check her out, look. I got it right. It is definitely a chicken.
Does she have a name?
Jane.
Jane the chicken.
Jane the chicken, of course.
Jane. Oh.
She's beautiful, though, isn't her?
Do you know
Look
a
at
Jane?
her plumage.
I do know a Jane. My mum's called Jane.
This one's full of front. I don't know about your mother. I'm talking about this one.
Right. She's big up top.
Big up top.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it sounds like she needs some support, both physically and veterinarily.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that word. Yeah.
So glad I brought it to you. Brilliant. Full of confidence. Should we go through the console?
Yes, let's go.
I can't believe here I am bringing chicks to see my husband, hey? But I know he'll be able to help this one. Feel that.
Let's have a little feel.
What a massive bag of, well, crop.
Oh, my
that
word,
huge?
that is bizarre.
I know,
isn't
it's
it?
mad, huh?
My goodness, the crop that she has, that sort of storage area for food, is absolutely massive. It's a handful of grit. It's astounding. But within that, what you can feel is obviously food, because the crop is there to basically hold food before it goes further down the gastrointestinal tract. It's kind of like the larder cupboard of the chicken, really.
Okay.
But actually behind that, there's a thick, like, web of something. So this crop has become impacted with something. It's continued to fill, it's stretched, and now it's actually falling over her breastbone. And so it's just not emptying normally the way that it should. So what we need to do is actually X-ray and just see exactly what lies beneath. And if it's large enough, we're gonna have to go in and perform surgery.
This chicken is going through something right now. It's uncomfortable for her, and she's about to go through an X-ray, most likely surgery.
Say bye.
So you can feel that element of pressure. You're like, the kids are waiting for this chicken to come back, all well and fixed by Scott. So yeah, that's a bit of pressure for him there.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Hi.
Reagan and vet Tina will be assisting Scott.
What is that?
I know.
Hey?
Isn't that the most massive crop you've ever felt on a chicken in your entire life?
Very big. Let's check her weight. Hey, big girl.
Can we weigh you,
That's pretty
sweetheart? Good girl. Okay, so at the moment, you're about 2.47 kilograms of chicken.
Come on, Jane. Let's go get some pictures.
Let's go and x-ray a chicken. Unfortunately, Jane's condition literally won't right itself. And already today, I can feel that her crop is warmer, so it's starting to ferment. That will make this girl really unwell. And if we don't do anything, it could eventually lead to her death. Okay, stay still, Jane. X-ray. As you can see, a lot of material. That's very likely to be grit, which is absolutely normal. But what you can't see on here is what I can feel in the crop of Jane. So it's a little bit like a block drain, I suppose, in that what we've got is this sort of thick mat of, feels like fibrous material. It could be hay, it could be grass. And that's meaning that the food isn't passing through, it's remaining in the crop. The crop is stretching, and then therefore food stays in there longer. It stretches more, so it's a little bit of a deteriorating cycle. So all of that needs to come out. Unfortunately, we do need to perform surgery, and the interesting thing is I think an anaesthetic is probably even more risky, so I think it's far better that we just try and do this while she's conscious. Birds don't do very well under anaesthetic. They're quite prone to stress, but also, unfortunately, with this particular condition, she could regurgitate during the surgery and then breathe that in, get aspiration pneumonia and die. So there's lots of major risks, and all of them can be reduced by performing the surgery conscious.
Does that mean a local anaesthetic then?
Yeah.
Luckily, she's quite a relaxed chicken, so hopefully she'll sit quite still for you.
Yeah, she seems very good, doesn't she? Okay. Well, let's get to work. I'm just going to pluck this first. First, we have to pluck poor Jane's crop, and then I give her the local anaesthetic, which is going to sting a little bit. But she seems to be taking it in a stride. She seems quite calm and quite relaxed, but who knows how she's going to react when I start to cut. She's a little stressed.
I know.
Okay. Right. Everyone ready for this, because I don't know what's going to come out. I also don't know how she's going to respond, but it needs to be done. It feels very strange to have my patient looking at me whilst I'm doing this sort of thing.
Hey, Jane.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to go into the crop now. So expect a really appalling smell.
Oh.
Jane has an impacted crop, so basically what I believe is that she's eaten something that she shouldn't, like long grass, that slowed down the transit of food down into her gastrointestinal tract, and it means that I need to go in and get it out. Oh, man, that's rancid.
Oh.
Look at all this stuff in here. Oh, my God. It's not nice. There we go. Here's the big thing. Wow. This is what I could feel. That is the problem right there. Oh, that is grim.
Jane, how are you still alive, my love?
How is she still alive? Look at that.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, it's still coming. Oh, my God. Oh.
That's disgusting.
Oh, that smells. Oh, wow, that is rank.
All right, Jane.
Good girl. Jane's crop was full of really long grass, which has probably been building up over months, and it started to ferment, and it's giving off a gas, which leads to a really rancid stench. So if we can stop her access to that, then we might not have this issue come back.
I can't believe how amazing she's been.
Yeah. What I want to do now, Reagan, is just give it a bit of a flush, and then I'm going to start to close. Extraordinary.
She's actually watching.
That's off-putting. Yeah. The bizarre thing about performing a conscious surgery on an animal is that they can look at you while you're doing it. And Jane has her beady eyes literally set on me, and it does make her quiver a little bit because it's an incredibly gruesome surgery, but she's taking it like a trooper. She's amazing, isn't she? I don't think I'll ever look at a chicken the same way again.
No, she's very, very brave.
There we we go. And that is our first conscious chicken crop impaction surgery.
Are you
done.
quickly? Should we see how much she weighs quickly?
Yes, that's a great idea. Jane's pre-surgery weigh-in, she weighed 2.47 kilograms, but after removing a huge amount of muck from her crop, I'm really interested to see what she weighs now. Okay, the moment of truth. All right, yeah, good girl.
Good girl.
So she's 2.235, so over 200 grams
Yeah.
of grossness
Of yuckiness.
removed from your crop, eh?
Now you look like a normal chicken again.
200 grams might not sound like a lot, but for a chicken like Jane, it's 10% of her body weight, which is massive, and it really will make a difference to her comfort levels now it's out. Here we go. There you go. All right. Yeah, you're gonna feel so much better. Because Jane's crop was distended for so long, it's become very stretched and very baggy, and even after the surgery, that isn't going to improve. So I do need to find a way to help to manage that so that she never suffers with crop impaction again. Gonna need to talk a little bit about support, aren't we, eh? Yeah, stop that crop from filling up like that again. Morning, Jane. Hello, baby. Hello. Good morning to you. Bright and happy, very talkative this morning. Come on then.
Next morning in Isleworth, Jane, the school chicken, has recovered well after the unusual procedure to clear a massive blockage in her crop.
Yeah, happy girl this morning, aren't you? Eh?
Hello.
Hey.
Hiya.
Scott's wife Zoe has arrived to take Jane back to the school.
She looks fab.
Yeah, she's doing really, really well.
So when I first see Jane, it's very obvious the difference. Her crop, although still a floppy crop, for lack of a better phrase, it's a lot better than it was. And she's looking fabulous.
The only thing, however, is that because that crop was distended, was stretched for so long, unfortunately it is a little baggy and it will remain that way. So
That's a bit rude.
it's a little
That's
bit rude. I'm sorry, honey.
So she will forever have a floppy crop.
She will. What happens now is that every time she eats, Jane's crop is going to fill up, it's going to hang over her breastbone. It means that the food won't transit through her gastrointestinal tract as it should, and unfortunately this will mean an ongoing issue for Jane. Also, you can see her posture's affected. If I provide a little bit of support, you can see she immediately stands up. So what we need to do is something that I have never done before.
Okay.
I have never prescribed said treatment, and it sounds like I've made it up, but I haven't. It's a crop bra. A lot of ladies that might be quite well endowed in the front department,
Right.
they need support. So what I've ended up doing is doing a little bit of sort of like, you know, primary school craft work, where I've used one of our surgical masks and attached it then to a little bit of padding here and sort of special support of the crop just in the centre there. It feels like we're on an infomercial.
It's very lightweight, very supportive, and very attractive.
Call 0800 chicken bra.
Of all the random stories that Scotty has told me about things he's had to do to assist animals in their welfare, a chicken bra, I think, probably is the weirdest.
So that's where your crop is. So you just
Yeah.
want to go underneath there
Okay.
and then hold it. So what we're going to do is place one around her neck, okay? And then the other
Lovely.
one goes underneath the wings.
Okay.
So that's just going to support that crop,
Okay.
keep it up, keep this girl eating and happy.
Oh my goodness.
Happy.
All those years in vet college, and this is what it's come to.
Yeah, putting a bra on a chicken. I've arrived. I'm really glad to have been able to help Jane, and even though I've given her a rather amusing bit of clothing to wear, I hope that her flock will accept her for who she is, a lovely girl that just needs a bit of support.
I now have to go and explain this to a school.
Yes.
As to why the chicken is wearing a bra.
But think of it this way, is that you only have to explain it to the teachers have to explain it to the kids.
If
you have a look out here, this is where he's escaping from.
He scales that?
Yeah.
How?
Chris has received a plea for help from the baffled Stefan.
There and he somehow scaled up the drain pipe.
His dog Splodge is constantly escaping.
One of my neighbours gave me a call at work and said, "Stefan, are you at home?" I said, "No, I'm at work." "Why?" And he goes, "Your dog is on my roof."
On your roof? My first impression of Splodge is he's tiny. How does he get up on roofs? Is this for real?
The only theory we have, and it sounds crazy, is that he uses the vine.
Well, what's this here?
Looks to me like that's where Splodge has actually scratched at the bark.
Stefan's never been able to catch his dog in the act, but Splodge is quite happy to show off his acrobatic climbing abilities in the garden shed.
Right now, there's a fair bit on Splodge's rap sheet. He scratches, he chews, he poos in the house.
That was it. One day was just once too much. As long as there's someone home, he is the most extremely well-behaved, adorable dog you can imagine.
Aside from the mystery of how he gets out, I've got serious concerns about his safety. And he could live up to his name. Splodge could go Splodge.
The little Houdini has already had a near-death experience.
He ran out onto the road and he got hit by a car. And, you know, he broke his leg, and that was very traumatic for him, for us, for everyone.
I think it's time for some secret Splodge surveillance. Okay, this is the plan. I'm going to put multiple cameras around the backyard. They're going to capture his every move. If he leaves the backyard, we're going to know about it. We'll see just how smart you are. I just cannot wait to find out how he's doing this. I just can't see how it's possible. I think you're in a bit of trouble, Splodge.
Stay.
We go.
All right.
Never thought I'd say this, Splodge. Don't behave. Look after yourself. So we'll sneak around the front, and we'll watch the monitors from in there, okay? Oh, it's on. It's on. You're kidding. So he's holding himself up with the vine, like almost as a safety strap. My God!
No way.
He's incredible. Just go straight up the bricks. I didn't think he'd do it. And then he's closed the bricks vertically, and then does a big chin up onto the top.
I wouldn't have believed it.
It's like it was the easiest thing in the world.
Strangely, the escape artist isn't making an immediate exit. He stays perched on the brick wall for more than 5 minutes.
You'd think after all that effort, he'd scurry off into the sunset, but he just hangs out.
Yeah, it's like he's happy there.
Yeah. So who lives there?
Stephanie and James, the immediate neighbours. And then that's further...
I reckon I know who this might be.
Yeah. Steffi.
Yeah, hi. Are you at work or at home?
No, I'm actually at home.
Oh, okay, good. Well, he's on the roof. So do you want me to bring him home, or what do you want me to do?
Is it too much trouble to bring him home? Can you get him down?
Yeah, I can get him down.
Yeah. You little rascal. Cleve.
We were just watching you, Splodge.
He will visit anybody. The thing is, at first you think he likes you, and then you realise it's got nothing to do with that. It's just that you're another living, breathing creature. So you'll do. So I think he's really cool, actually.
Mate, I reckon we've got to make this time the last time.
Ah, you hear that? Last time. That would be fantastic, Chris. I tell you, if you can do that, that would actually set my mind at ease a lot.
Now it's a waiting game for Stefan and Splodge to find out just what solution Chris will come up with.
Come on, puppy. In we go.
So we're going to head down to Bondi Surf Club here and grab our solution to all of Splodge's problems.
What's this all about?
I'll explain it all later. Is it in here?
It's in here. I'll give you a hand.
Righto. Heavy, isn't it? I'd be pretty confident this has never, ever been used in veterinary science before. The solution comes in two parts. First of all, safety is our priority, so we're going to barricade his escape route. Secondly, it's my favourite. Special dogs get special things. And this is the solution to your problem.
You're joking, aren't you?
See, in the animal world, being high up implies dominance. That's why Chihuahuas love being in those handbags. There's a saying in the dog world that a happy dog is a dog with a view. If you can imagine being Splodge, down here, you've got high walls around you, a slice of sky up the top. Every single time a plane flew over, he howled at the sky. In his mind, those people, those machines could be conspiring against him. So he wants to know what's going on. He doesn't have separation anxiety, he's got scenery anxiety. He's frustrated because he can't see the world, so he goes out into the world to discover it for himself. This will work. Come on. Or it should.
Come on. Come.
There you go.
Looks pretty comfortable up there.
Is that a smile, Splodge? That's amazing, isn't it?
Oh, man. This is nothing like what I expected. I expected something that was, you know, containing, barricades, stopping him getting out, closing him in. This is liberating him. Thank you very much, Chris.
My pleasure.
That's awesome.
Mate. No worries at all.
In Brisbane, Audrey and Alison's mobile vet business means they're on call 24/7.
So Cody just called and he was really frantic, really upset.
Tonight they've had an urgent distress call from one of their regular clients.
He said something about they've just got a new pet and it's really sick. He's really concerned and worried. So it sounds quite urgent.
Al, have you got the keys?
Yep. So it's really important whenever we get these emergency calls to try and get as much information as we can, but sometimes they're so frantic we can only get bits of information, so we don't really know what we're going to, but it sounds urgent.
Hello, Cody. How are you? Okay, where is this patient?
This is Roddy the rat.
A rat?
The rat.
A rat?
We didn't know it was
You got a rat.
I got a rat.
Partners Cody and Jake are brand new rat dads. They've only had Roddy for 2 weeks.
We are shocked to see that we're actually dealing with a rat, mainly because we were expecting a dog or a cat.
Hi, Roddy the rat. You're very friendly. How long you had him for now?
So I've had him for about 2 weeks now.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
And he's only 8 weeks old?
He's just creeping up on to 10 weeks.
10 weeks. What's up with him?
So over the past couple of days he's been sneezing a fair bit. Thought it was cute to start with, but then it kept going. And then the next day it was just sneeze after sneeze, and then definitely got a bit worried at that point.
Any discharge?
I haven't noticed any, no.
Yeah.
But it's odd to see him not really moving around as much. He's always jumping up at the cage when I go up to him normally.
So sneezing in a rat can definitely mean something quite serious. It could be a nasty infection, it could be a tumour, or something in the environment that's really affecting their lungs.
His breathing is a little bit faster.
And it's quite laboured as well. With rats, they have a very, very delicate lung and airways. Their little tiny cilia, which is kind of like their little filters or the little hairs in their airways, can get really easily damaged with infection. We got to make sure that everything in the cage is dust-free. You can see that we've got good substrate for the bedding, which is great. Let's get him out. Oh God, he's so tiny.
Hey, Papa.
I can see why you got him. He's really cute.
Very cute.
Like how they hold their food in their front hands, they're cute, you know, and just a little cool friend to have on your shoulder.
So the chest sounds clear. So that I don't hear any crackles or wheezes, any fluid in the chest, but certainly I can hear a lot of turbulence. So when he's breathing, I can hear a lot of turbulence coming from his upper airways. So I think Cody and Jake were absolutely right in feeling a bit panicked and calling us out tonight, because obviously these things can turn in a second, especially in such a young rat.
Everything is minuscule.
Red on this side. I'll just compare back to this side.
Oh, his left nostril's also got more discharge. So we know in rats with nasal discharge and sneezing, that is indicative of infection, particularly a respiratory infection called mycoplasma. And it is a bacterial infection that they tend to pick up in the pet shop when they're around quite a lot of other rats as well.
Roddy urgently needs antibiotics. The twins also want to try him on a nebulizer to help unclog the congestion, which is severely compromising his airways. But the girls' usual nebulizer is designed for much bigger patients.
In a dog or human, we'll have like a mask that this sort of covers the face and the nose so they can inhale. But it ain't built for a rat.
Audrey and Alison are going to have to do some late-night improvisation.
We've got some water bottles in this one up here.
Okay, let's try.
I was very curious to see what they were going to put together for him because he is very small.
You don't mind it having rat in it. That's the main thing.
I didn't know a rat could be put on a nebulizer to start with.
Look at that.
A large drink bottle is the perfect rat size for a makeshift chamber.
You're willingly going to crawl into a water bottle.
Vaporized saline can be pumped in and hopefully help Roddy start to breathe a bit easier.
So you see it's like aerolizing the saline.
After only a few minutes on the nebulizer, Roddy's already more active.
All right, you can return him. Oh, let's go over. Oh, 1 second.
Off to bed. So we expect an improvement in the next 72 hours. He's got a course of 5 days to do that nebulization and the antibiotics, but we expect to see improvement every single day.
Bye, Roddy. So you're all sorted.
Now that she's met the newest member of the household,
So Nix, how's our Tiggs going?
Alison is keen to check up on their other pet, Tiggs the cat.
How is she dealing with the new addition?
Not well.
You don't like your rat friend? What do you think about your new friend?
Tiggs is one of my favourite patients.
Alison first met Tiggs when the boys needed advice on how to control the curvaceous kitty's weight.
She's a rescue cat. Everyone talks about her, everyone loves her, so definitely a big part of people's lives, and big is the key word there.
Come on, get it. Oh, come on, it's right there. We want to make sure that Tiggs loses weight gradually so we don't put too much strain and stress on the liver. And Cody and Jake are trying their hardest and they're getting there slowly.
Oh, I just be friends.
It's the first time the twins have treated mortal enemies, a cat and a rat, in the same household.
Has she tried to do anything to him at all?
No. She looks at him.
You're just working out your plan, aren't you?
She does walk around, she stares at him at times, she does lick her lips.
Not a typical relationship that we see every day in consult, but I think over time Tiggs may warm to Roddy. I mean, they're both really calm patients, and as long as Cody and Jake manage that and put a barrier between them when they need to, I think they'll get on fine.
This part of North Queensland is renowned for having some pretty fast and some pretty deadly wildlife, but the animal I'm about to go and see is one of the slowest creatures around, but it's that speed that may have just got him into trouble.
Later that day, Chris is answering an emergency call-out for an unusual hit-run victim.
Who is it, boys?
Hello. Are you the turtle I come about?
Hello,
No?
how are you?
I'm Chris.
Christy, lovely to meet
Chrissy.
you.
Hey guys.
Say hello, this is Xavier and Tane.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for coming. We've
That's
got
all
a
right.
sick turtle.
Yeah, where is he?
Just through here.
All right.
Christy is concerned about an injured turtle she found on the side of a busy local road.
He was almost getting hit by the other cars passing by, so we got out of the car, we picked him up and we saw that he'd had a big crack underneath, so we brought him home and called Marlin Coast. This is Donatello.
Donatello. Who named him Donatello? Where did you find him?
He was just on the side of the road.
I might get him out and have a look at him. He is a big turtle. He's a lot bigger than we get back home.
Really?
Yeah, you bet.
We breed them big up here.
It's a monster. Guys, could you just grab my little box there?
Good boy.
Thank you. The first thing Christy noticed when she picked up this turtle is that it has a crack. Sometimes the crack in the shell can only be a hint as to what's occurring beneath the shell. So my worry is that if the car's hit this guy hard enough, then it may have actually ruptured those internal organs. We could be looking at a pneumothorax, so a punctured lung, or even more serious internal injuries. So that is a big crack right there. When you look at where the injuries are at the front of the shell underneath and also the chip here, it's safe to assume that when it was hit by a car, the car hit the front half.
Yeah.
What I find amazing though is with this neck being so long, how the head hasn't got any injuries.
Yeah.
Because as you can see, he finds it incredibly hard to tuck all of that neck and head inside the shell. So he's either been incredibly lucky or there are injuries there we just haven't seen yet. I'll just check out the rest of him for any other injuries.
So it is a boy?
Well, that's what I was going to look at.
Is that a tail or?
It's a tail, but what'd you call him, Donatello?
Oh.
You okay with Donna?
It's a girl.
It's a girl.
It's a girl.
Look, I'm quite keen to take her back to the clinic and x-ray her to see whether she has any other serious injuries.
Yeah.
So we're going to take her now and go and patch her up.
And when you finish, can you take her back here? And then we put her back where we found her, but not on the road.
Yeah, we'll definitely let you know when she's all fixed up. Even though we've cleared up a few mysteries, like the fact that he is actually a she, there are still quite a few unknowns here. We truly won't know the extent of Donna's injuries until we get back to the clinic. An x-ray will give us a really clear view about what's happening underneath that shell. And once we do that, we'll be able to plan out what sort of future she has. Okay, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Thanks again.
See you later, Chris.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Got a big crack right across the middle there.
Poor darling.
So I might x-ray her straight away.
Yep.
In Cairns, Chris has arrived back at the Marlin Coast Veterinary Hospital with Donna.
Yeah, that's a nasty wound.
The long-necked turtle is in a bad way after being run over by a car.
Now we've made it back to the clinic, the reality dawns on me. This is where we have to try to fix this shell. And the more I look at it, the more I realise it's going to be one hell of a task. Do you have a box? I just need to find a way of positioning her on the x-ray because I want to get a view straight through the side of a shell.
Yeah,
Any old cardboard boxes or polystyrene boxes? I think I've got an idea. What do you reckon?
Let's give it a go.
Okay.
With vet nurse Crystal giving the tick of approval, Chris is now ready to put his unusual invention to the test.
You're not happy, are you? And deservedly so, but at least you can actually look me in the eyes and express your displeasure about this situation. All right, we'll make this quick. There's no doubt in my mind that not fixing Donna's shell is simply not an option. With an open shell like this, bacteria can just go straight inside the body, and from there, we're talking about a serious infection that could very well be fatal. Okay, she's pretty settled now. Okay, ready to go?
Yep. Cool.
You were very good. That neck just goes everywhere, doesn't it? Okay, we just need one more shot here. This might actually be the hardest one of all. Just straight on. Turtles obviously look like very unique creatures, and they certainly are. But you have to remember those bony plates that make up the shell are really there to protect the internal organs. Once you go through the shell, chances are there's something significant sitting underneath it. fact is, in order to fully assess how serious Donna's injuries are, we need two views, one on the side and one from above. We've now taken those, so it's time to see the results. Wow, didn't expect that. There are really a few important parts of this x-ray. First of all, we want to see the initial injury we knew was already there, this crack in the base of the shell, and that's certainly showing that whilst it's there, it's not penetrating into any body cavities, which is really good news, but also it's allowing us to see the rest of the shell and see that there are no other cracks, there's no other damage that's been caused by the car. Although the first shot is good news, it's the second x-ray that holds most of the concern for me, because it'll reveal whether any organs have been damaged and whether any infection has taken hold. It's a very different view, but what it does show as well is that this head and neck, it really does protrude out the outside of the shell, and I'm still amazed that it hasn't been run over, because by the looks of it, there are no fractures through this neck region here. All the feet and leg bones are intact and fine, right down to these back legs. They're incredible creatures because they have almost all the same bones that we have, only they look so completely different. It's just all kept within this shell that's meant to provide that safety barrier for them.
Donna's shell has saved her life, but it's come at a cost.
I've never treated a freshwater turtle this big and never had to deal with a fracture in a shell this large. My concern right now is that maybe there is no way of fixing this injury. First of all, we have to lever it back into place, but then we need to work out a way to actually keep it in place, bearing in mind that we've got an animal that's going to rely on the shell for protection. Fixing turtle shells like that, it's never easy, and right now I'm not even sure how we do fix it. The tricky thing here is that you've got quite a thick shell that's fractured the whole way through, and the x-ray proves it. They are incredibly hard to fix, and right now I'm not even sure we can fix it. If we can't fix this shell, then Donna will never be able to go back to the wild, and infection will be a constant concern for her. There is something that I've seen done before, which might work.
Yeah. Is it a bit of a gamble?
It is, but I might need some of the other nurses' help. Do you guys don't happen to have spare bra clips? I'm being serious.
Well, I could take mine off.
Sorry, that wasn't a request. I just... Quite seriously, there is something I can do with bra clips. You left. Is there a shop that would have something like that? Like the clips that attach the bra at the back?
It's just one down the road at the shopping centre.
Yeah? Okay, is that going to be the safer option here?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to leave now. I'm not sure if bra hooks have ever been used to fix a turtle shell before. I'm guessing not, though. Hi there.
Hi.
Hey, I have a rather interesting request.
Yeah?
I'm looking for some bra clips.
Some bra clips?
Yeah, not for me.
Yeah?
I've got all the support I need, but it's for a turtle.
A turtle?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Do you have any little clips that I can sort of put over a crack in a shell and kind of tie some wire around? Just little metal clips is what I'm looking for.
Yes, I think I know what you're talking about. How about if we go that way?
Yeah, okay.
It's not every day you get somebody coming in, especially a vet, looking for a bra clip. I think something like this, because you've got so much of a backing on it, that would probably glue better. And then, if you
what
turn
are they
it... These are for your pants. So you hook them around and see the hook in there? So you might be able to hook it around, just like doing up the wedding dress, that one.
I've got a lot of experience with that.
Exactly, yes. He come in looking for a bra clip. I think he's got a one-track mind, but he's all sorted out now. I've sold him something else, hunky-dory. Our little turtle's going to be fine from now on.
All right, thank you very much.
OK, see ya. Have a good one.
Yeah, we'll do.
See you next time.
Of course. There'll be a next time.
Bye.
See you later. Good news, guys.
Oh, yay! Bra straps for everyone.
Well, funnily enough, not. Went for a more masculine option of trouser hooks.
Trouser hooks.
Yep. So, I'm ready to go.
Yep.
So we might get Donna set up for surgery. And
yep, let's get her on the table.
Get going.
In Cairns, Chris is ready to begin surgery to repair Donna's shattered shell.
Can I get you to hold her there?
Yeah.
If the shell isn't fixed, Donna runs the risk of developing a life-threatening infection.
The challenge we've got in repairing this shell is the fact that it's living tissue, it has a blood supply, so we're actually pulling some of it back just so we can get those ends of the crack together. It's not easy and it can be quite traumatic. The helpful thing here is that by putting a neck like that, it should show off a jugular vein. At the moment, because we're dealing with a creature we don't routinely see that has an injury that is quite rare, we're having to go to extraordinary lengths to come up with a solution. Just stick your finger in his mouth just to see if he's asleep yet.
After you.
These jaws are incredibly powerful, so if I can avoid losing a finger, it'd be ideal. Sound. She's a real challenge. I mean, you're dealing with a patient that takes up to 10 minutes to fall asleep from her anaesthetic. And from there, she's still got the ability to chomp down. So we're having to be very careful, but also really plan out every move. Okay, let's get this in here.
Donna is finally anaesthetised, but suddenly there's a problem.
She was breathing every, 4 seconds. It's starting to slow. And I'm probably going to have to start breathing for her now.
There's just a bit of concern at the moment because we're not seeing any signs of life out of her. These guys are renowned for not really giving too much away. Their pulse rate's incredibly low, respiratory rate's incredibly low under anaesthetic, but we can't get any sign of life out of her at the moment. She's gone from biting my finger to all of a sudden being incredibly deep, to the point where we can't see any breaths, we can't really get any sort of pulse rate, we can't hear a heartbeat.
You happy for me to give her a breath?
Yeah, give her. Oh. It's alive. It's bitten on the finger.
Okay.
Being bitten on the finger by a turtle is normally something I dread, but I've never been happier for it to happen. Now it means I can finally get on with fixing Donna's shell. You can see just how much that's overriding. This needs to shift all the way up there, but the problem is it's now not going back into place. So we have to take some of that off, and then hopefully the forces will relax, we can actually slide those two plates together. If you clean her up, I'll get started on this and we'll just move quickly.
Yeah.
The equipment we have to use is essentially equipment we normally use for orthopaedic surgery, where you are operating on bones, so it helps, but it still makes it very slow progress. The whole point of cleaning these edges are all about making sure we minimise the chance of infection, but also we give ourselves the best chance of getting a strong bond. We're still overriding quite a bit there, so I may just try to take a bit off the end here. So I've decided to take a bit more of a dramatic approach, because if I just continue to sand back that shell, we're just never going to get to the point where we're getting these ends of the shell to meet. But with these ronges, which are essentially bone cutters, we're able to really get to a good point where it's looking like the shell's starting to align. Okay. It's starting to look more like it.
Yeah, that looks good.
Really part of the battle here has been trying to get this crack back to really healthy tissue where there's nothing dead and there's nothing where it shouldn't be. So now I'm pretty happy we're in that place. So it's time to get some gloves on, get started.
I'll open it up and you can just have it.
In Cairns, surgery to fix Donna's shattered shell is underway.
The way we're actually going to attach these metal clips is kind of the same way as you attach braces to teeth. We'll form a resin that goes directly on and really bonds the shell to the metal of the clip. Weirdly getting flashbacks to when I had braces. They're not happy memories. been really careful to leave what is the crack and essentially the open wound here very clear of anything, because that's living tissue, that has to heal. It's going to form a scab and then a scar. So we're going to run some wire between them all, but we're still dealing with some big forces that are going to try to pull this down. So what I'm thinking is, using an oversized paddle pop stick or a tongue depressor, we're going to glue that in place, and that's going to be a really supportive brace just to counteract those forces. Just want to make sure we get the angle right here. The wood as a material is perfect because it has a little bit of give, and you want some flexibility just like the natural shell does. This has really become one of the most bizarre surgeries I've ever done.
With everything in place,
okay, that's a good start.
Chris can now start the final stage of the reconstruction.
So we're using a figure 8 pattern to balance out the forces and make sure that it's pulling in a really parallel way. So once the wire's in place, it's just a simple matter of twisting it to tighten it, and naturally we'll actually apply that tension across that wire. And it's that tension that's going that direction that's actually going to bring the shell back together.
After 90 minutes, Donna's surgery is finally finished.
All right. So looking at it, we've got a good supportive structure across the top here, but now between these clips, it's really bringing those edges back in together nicely. There's no overriding. Everything's looking like it's pointing in the right direction. All right. We can wake her up.
Yeah, looks great.
The nature of turtle shells means that this won't be a quick recovery. It's going to take weeks and months for that shell to get its strength back. But thankfully here, in this vet clinic, she's in safe hands. She just needs to learn to live a slower pace of life. All right, so this is your temporary home. Once you're all healed up, you know what you can do? You can use those snapping jaws as much as you like. The team here at Marlin Coast will look after Donna for the next few months, and then those clips will be removed, and then she'll go back to the wild.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kate. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the Bondi Vet YouTube channel. Click on the screen now to continue watching more great content. And if you love Bondi Vet, go and support us by checking out Bondi Pet Marketplace at bondipet.com. You'll find a whole range of great Aussie pet products and services. We can't wait to see you there.